With a whole collection of features you'd find on varying styles of guitar, the Chapman Guitars ML1 is geared up to give every player a little bit of something they're into. But does it try to do too much, or have they managed to create something uniquely awesome? Well dude, since the legends at Chapman loaned me a couple of their standard series guitars to check out, I've really had the chance to get to know the ins and outs of these guitars. So let's have a look at the quality and construction of this ML1 Modern. And just to confirm, these were loaned to me on the basis that I'd be as honest as possible, which is hugely respectable. It looks mean, there's no two ways about that. It's got all black everything, but the satin stained ash veneer over and all the body gives it much more character than your regular black Strat style guitars, which for me is really what separates the ones I pick up from the ones that I would walk straight past. The natural binding is a sweet and easy way to break up the silhouette of the guitar and give it a little bit more class, but without increasing the cost through all the labour of plastic binding. And although it's cheaper, I reckon it looks way more sophisticated than plastic binding anyway, but that could just be me. Anyway, bolted to this body you've got a 24 fret maple neck with Macassar ebony board, which is the standard selection of materials on a lot of the Chapman models because they're doing it right. Then there's the famously reversed and angled Chapman headstock and a volute. And then in the hardware department we've got Chapman closed back tuners, a legit Graphtec nut, the Chapman sonorous Zero humbucker set, a fixed Chapman string through bridge, and some controller bits for controlling stuff. Volume, tone, push, pull, three-way, you know the deal by now. On the surface it's a great set of features that loads of us want, but when you start to look a little bit closer you notice all the different DNA that makes up this guitar.
Guitars,
the DNA of the soul.
And that's what makes it super interesting. The S-type body is standard thickness for a Strat, but the more angular edges make it feel like something that could have come out of Gibson, though it's got more extreme and well-planned carving that you'd probably see on a more modern axe. The neck heel has been designed to give better upper fret access than most bolt-ons, though the neck feels distinctly Fender-esque until your digits meet the fretboard edges and it scares you into thinking you're holding a guitar that you really can't afford, or at least I can't anyway. Finally, the volute and angled headstock are a vintage touch, but then the headstock's been reversed. This is a collection of specs that you won't find anywhere else, I'm pretty sure of it, though it could quite easily have all gone wrong. Like, have you ever gone full chef mode in the house and tried to cook a meal out of all the spare food you've got and it's just turned out to be an absolute abomination? This could have been that, but thankfully all the ingredients came together to create a guitar with a really strong identity and it works really well. One thing I reckon we should all be grateful for too is the fact that they didn't add Gibson style QC to the melting pot. I've been hugely impressed with Chapman's quality and attention to detail so far, and this guitar really is no different. It's incredibly solid, there are no imperfections, and the quality of the craftsmanship, particularly on the neck and fretwork, is phenomenal dude. Talking about the neck though, I'm sorry to those of you that watch my other two Chapman videos, but I've just got to highlight this again. Chapman are making some of the best playing necks in the game right now. It doesn't seem to matter whether it's their affordable workhorse models or the pro stuff from Korea, the necks on these are sick. The profiles are received, so most people will feel at home unless they were like born in the woods of Sweden and raised by a pack of wild Strandbergs. But they've got a little bit more shoulder that leads into the best feeling rolled fretboard edges and fret ends dude. Even these standard series guitars have got necks that wouldn't feel totally out of place on some custom shop guitars, and that's no exaggeration. The overall fretwork is immaculate too. There's no eye spots, no fretting out, no sharp bits, none of that. And it makes them hyper playable. They come with a fairly regular setup, but the Chapman hipshot style bridge is dope and it's super easy to get those strings down as close to the fretboard as you possibly can with no real issues if you're like me and you like your action as low as possible. Another simple but nice touch for that is the fact that the truss rod cover only has one screw. I haven't needed to adjust the neck relief on this thing, but why brands add 3 screws to the truss rod cover is completely beyond me. And these guitars are really comfortable too. The traditional shapes that the Chapman guitars are based on, especially the ML1, have been tweaked and carved to make them fit the body really well. For my personal playing style, I've had no issues at all sitting with this guitar classically up at that 45-degree angle to try and save my battered up mangled arms. But they do sit better in a relaxed position like this, and I have been swapping and changing between without any real issue at all. Personally though, there is one thing that I think could be done better on this guitar. It doesn't hold it back by any means, and I think I understand why it's like it is, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you there's nothing that I wouldn't change. Bolt-on neck heels are, on the whole, a hindrance to upper fret access, and we all know it. Some are definitely better than others, and this one is right up there with some of the best, but it's not as good as it could be. You absolutely can reach the upper frets on this guitar, and Chapman have done some serious work to try and make it as easy as possible, but at a point you do still get your thumb blocked by the neck heel. The trouble with it is I know just how well Chapman can do neck joints because of their other guitars. The set through neck on the ML3 and the set neck on the ML2 have both been absolutely killer, and they've spoiled me, to be honest. When I feel my thumb hit this neck heel, I stop and reminisce about the incredible effortless good times I had playing the ML3 and the ML2, and I just wish this could be the same. Fact of the matter is, both those guitars are more expensive than this one, and it's going to come down to the construction. Set necks of any kind just aren't as easy to manufacture. Aside from it being more labour intensive, if something goes wrong when you're making a bolt-on guitar, say with the neck, you just bang a new neck on it, and it's the same with the body. But if something goes wrong with a set neck or a set through neck, all guitars dude. All things considered, the playability alone on these guitars should demand a higher price, and the amount of guitar you're actually getting for the cost is unreal, man. They're solid, dependable, with great tuning stability, and they're so easily adjusted to get them how you like them, and they'll just stay there. Before I dig deeper into the sounds you've just heard, if you're enjoying the video, let YouTube know by absolutely decimating the like button, or just click it. Also, the tabs for the demo you just heard are up on my blog, and I've linked that below if you want to learn the riffs or the solo. And if you liked that big legato line from the solo, that was actually taken from my Legato Licks pack, Sick Legato Licks Vol.1. If you want to sharpen your legato or add some new lines to your improvisation, then grabbing that pack is a great way to do it and help me keep making videos at the same time. Plus, it's half price right now at $5, so it's definitely the best time to pick it up. Thank you if you do pick it up, and to the dudes that have already got it, I appreciate you. Let's talk about what this guitar sounds like. In true Chapman fashion, we have got some verbose and loquaciously named humbuckers, the Chapman Sonorous Zero set, or to put it another way that's more fitting of how I actually talk, big word pickup go brrr. Just like with the Chapman Stentorian set, I did look up what sonorous meant. I mean, just to make sure, obviously, I definitely knew what it meant beforehand. And it means imposingly deep and full voice. These pickups are the hotter set out of the Sonorous and the Stentorian pairs, and are definitely more well adjusted for getting some chugs in or harder styles of playing. I dare say you could play something a little lighter on these if you really wanted to, but that's definitely not what I've been doing, dude. They've got a kind of pronounced mid-range that makes for a sound that doesn't get lost in the mix and always stays punchy. Although I should say they do clean up well, and you've always got the coil split option if you're into that sort of thing. I think if I was going to liken them to something else, it seems like Chapman are going for like a Seymour Duncan-esque vibe, and to me that makes loads of sense. The actual Duncans on the Pro models suit these guitars really well, so going for that kind of thing with your proprietary pickups gives players as close to that kind of experience but in an affordable way. You know what's funny to me? I'll be the first to admit that for the years that I've been playing guitar while Chapman's been a thing, I never really gave him a second look. I did come close to buying an ML1 7-string that they did maybe about 4 years ago in this sick unicorn burst colourway, but I ended up going for an Ibanez instead. That was my mentality. What could Chapman possibly offer me that I couldn't get of better quality from like a major brand? Now, I'm realising that that just isn't the case. My experience with all three of these Chapmans has been awesome, and I'm actually going to be really sad to send these two standards back. This ML1 is a guitar that I would not hesitate to gig with if I ever left my office anymore. It's solid, it's dependable, it's playable, it's everything you could want. The craftsmanship is top notch for an affordable guitar, with necks that are so well finished it's hard to put them down. There is no doubt in my mind that Chapman know exactly what they're doing and how to build a sick guitar. When it comes to buying something new, Chapman are absolutely going to be at the top of my list over loads of other brands. And who knows, when these go back, there's going to be 2 spots left on my rack, so maybe I'm going to fill them with some Chapmans of my own. And if you want to know more about some alternatives to the ML1 from Chapman, you can check out one of these 2 videos that will pop up here soon. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. You're the real MVP if you got this far. Take care, mate. Stay safe. I'll see you later. The legends at Chapman loan me a couple of their standard model. Standard. My eyes are like sticking together. What is wrong? On the agreement that I be as honest as possible about. Honest as possible about them, which is. It's got all black air. The natural binding is a sweet and easy way to add a little bit of class to the guitar, but without increasing the cost of adding through being fucking stupid. But without increasing the cost by adding all the labour that you get for putting plastic binding on one of these things. Giving it a little bit more class, but without increasing the cost to... I can't talk. And then in the oh my god. The neck heel has been designed to give better fretter. Finally, the ha. Oh, is immaculate to if you like me and you like absolutely blah 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 blah, especially ML, but you do still reach the deaded front. Fucking knew that was gonna happen. And help me. These pickups are the hotter set out of the sonorous and the scent. These pickups are the hotter set out. Why? No. Don't be like that. Well, my light keeps going off. The craftsmanship is top notch too for an apport. Hiya.